Mr. Kaufman here with a quick tour of what a science fair page looks like. You'll be creating your own page using your Haiku account. Here's a picture. Obviously this is not your picture, but we will use your picture from STI to put into this space. You'll be able to get hold of that from Mr. Kennedy or from myself, and we'll give you details on how to get that picture. Here we need you to describe your project. As it says here, say where the idea came from, why it inspires you, and a little bit about yourself. A little bit farther down the page, the next block will be a video of you introducing your project. Explain its inspiration, list your hypothesis, say a little bit about what your project looks like for you. You will write the same information here in the purpose and hypothesis section of your page. The next few spots will follow the scientific method fairly closely. You'll list all the materials that you will use for your project in this box called Materials. In the Procedures box, you'll list step by step the steps that you take to make your experiment happen. And then the Data and Results will list the specific results of your experiment after it's been completed. We're talking about statistics, we're talking about measurements, we're talking about specific results. The next video block under Experiment will be where you film your experiment and put it up on YouTube and provide a link for it here. If you can film your experiment live, that's what you can do. If you cannot film your experiment live, you can use a video slideshow of pictures that you've taken during your experiment or of charts and graphs based on your results. Down here we'll step past the specific results and get into a discussion of your results and what they mean. Think outside the boundaries of your project. Think about how your results could have changed if you changed aspects of your experiment, and think about how the results of your experiment can be put into practical application in everyday life. Down here is your conclusion. You wrap up your project. Talk about what you learned from it. Talk about what you might do differently if you're going to do this experiment again. How you might vary your factors in your experiment to get a different result. You can be creative here and really get your hands dirty with what is possible based on your research. And then the last box is resources, which is where you'll provide basically a bibliography of the books that you used, of links that you went to, websites. Give credit where credit is due for all the research and materials that you used to put together your experiment. I have some examples here based on what I did to put together this page. And as a side note, you might click this link called Project Ideas. It'll take you to a separate page, Science Buddies. It'll give you some ideas for a project and some other information if you're really stumped by what to take on for your project. Just a little fun resource for you guys, and you're welcome. So there's your page. If you have any questions about that, you will be able to ask Mr. Kennedy or Mr. Kaufman about it. You'll be able to use this template to create your own science fair page that represents your experiment and who you are. If you use this exact formula, you can't go wrong. So have fun and be creative. And now, here are some explosions.
Fuel rod, ready to fire.